YNW Melly's life underwent a dramatic change when he was arrested and charged with 2 charges of first-degree murder. Melly was a rising star in the rap business at the time of his arrest. The case has received a great deal of publicity, and supporters and detractors alike have been watching every step. However, what caused a lot of people to take notice was when YNW Melly broke down crying in court and begged the judge to let him out of prison. The outpouring of emotion that he had caused many to wonder about his mental health as well as the events that led to his detention. In this essay, we will discuss the criminal background of YNW Melly, his life while incarcerated, his mental health, the emotions of the relatives of the victims, the judgment made by the court, and, eventually, we will attempt to understand why he cried to be freed during his trial. YNW Melly, whose actual name is Jamel Maurice Demons, has a troubled past that includes a number of arrests and convictions. The rapper was taken into custody in June 2018 on charges of possessing marijuana as well as possessing a handgun while already being a convicted criminal. After posting bail, he was freed from custody, but he was taken into custody once again in January 2019 on suspicion of complicity in the killing of 2 of his closest friends, YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie. The prosecution contends that YNW Melly arranged the murder to make it seem as if it was the result of a drive-by shooting, and that he then drove about with the corpses in his vehicle before delivering them to the hospital. Throughout the course of the trial, the rapper has steadfastly maintained his innocence, arguing that he is being wrongly accused of having committed the killings and that he is not responsible for them. Despite this, ever since his arrest, he has been kept in prison without the possibility of bail. YNW Melly has been held in custody ever since his arrest in February 2019, and he is now awaiting his trial. It has not been an easy life for him inside bars, as he has been cut off from his loved ones and friends for the better part of 2 years at this point. There are rumors that the rapper kills much of his spare time by creating songs and reading, which is also said to be his favorite pastime. In addition, YNW Melly's legal team has indicated that the circumstances in which he has been held in prison have been quite difficult. They assert that he has been held in solitary confinement for lengthy periods of time and has not gotten the appropriate medical treatment for his health conditions. They say this even though he has been hospitalized on many occasions. In addition to this, they assert that the rapper's mental health has substantially deteriorated ever since he was sentenced to time behind bars. YNW Melly continues to hold out hope that he may be freed in the not-too-distant future despite these obstacles. He has been known to break down into tears in the courtroom during hearings, asking the judge to release him on bond so that he may return home and continue pursuing a music career. The judge is now considering all of the relevant aspects of the case, therefore it is impossible to say for definite whether or not this will occur. Throughout the whole of his trial, YNW Melly's mental health has been a primary source of worry. The rapper has been identified as suffering from many mental diseases, including schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and others. His attorneys have suggested that the court should take into account his mental condition throughout the trial, since it may have influenced the activities that he took. It has been stated that YNW Melly's mental health had been suffering while he was detained. He has been held in solitary confinement for protracted stretches of time, which may make pre-existing conditions related to his mental health worse. In addition, he has not been provided with the appropriate therapy for his ailments while he has been in custody. It is essential to take into account how YNW Melly's mental health would affect the outcome of the case. A person's capacity to make logical choices and comprehend the consequences of their actions might be impaired by mental illness. We can only hope that YNW Melly will be able to get the assistance he needs to deal with his difficulties and make progress in a good way. A well-known rap attorney recently provided an update on the YNW Melly case. The rapper is accused of murdering his 2 buddies and then setting up the crime scene to make it appear like a drive-by shooting. Since 2019, many supporters have been waiting with bated breath for news of the trial's progress. The trial, according to the attorney, is making steady progress. After several setbacks caused by COVID-19 regulations and other legal hurdles, it seems that progress is being made. The prosecution has made its case and now the defense has the floor. It's obvious that YNW Melly is waiting impatiently to be exonerated and freed from jail. A judge saw him sob at his most recent court appearance, and he begged to be released so he could be with his family. The outcome of this high-profile case is still uncertain, but one thing is certain: the journey ahead will be arduous for all parties concerned. As things stand, YNW Melly's trial should wrap up by the end of July. Fans and detractors alike have been paying close attention to the trial for some time now. The rapper is being held on 2 counts of first-degree murder, charges he vigorously defends himself against. Both the prosecution and the defense have been on an emotional roller coaster throughout the trial. The prosecution has introduced fresh evidence, just one of multiple turns in the case. Despite everything, the trial seems to be wrapping up shortly. The outcome of this case has the attention of many. YNW Melly's innocence or culpability has been questioned by many. Whatever else people may say, there's no denying that this trial has been one of the most watched in recent memory. As we wait for the judgment, may justice be done, and may all parties concerned find peace. The suspected criminal acts of YNW Melly will have repercussions that extend far beyond the rapper and his own life. Because of their tragic loss, the families of the two fatalities, Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr., are in utter disarray at this time. They have not only been forced to bear the emotional anguish of losing a loved one in such a heinous way, but also the burden of having to cope with the continuing legal processes. During the course of the trial, the relatives of the victims were given the opportunity to appear in court and provide emotive testimony on the ways in which the death of their loved ones has impacted their lives. A member of the family said that they would never be able to see or hear their son again once this tragedy occurred. Another individual said that they find it difficult to get a good night's sleep knowing that justice has not yet been carried out. It is essential to keep in mind that while YNW Melly may be attempting to win his release via legal means, there are actual persons whose lives have been negatively impacted as a direct consequence of his claimed activities. It is impossible to overlook or minimize the suffering and agony that these families have gone through. It is the responsibility of the judicial system to see to it that those affected by the events in question are provided with some sort of resolution and justice. The judge in YNW Melly's trial has finally reached a verdict after the case dragged on for months with court sessions and dramatic testimony. On the 15th of May 2021, Judge Dennis Bailey made the decision that the rapper would have to wait in prison until his trial and refused the rapper's plea for release. YNW Melly and all of his fans, who had been hoping for a different result, were dealt a crushing blow by this decision. The court said that he had reservations about the nature of the allegations against him, which included 2 counts of first-degree murder, as well as the potential risk that he represented to society if he were to be freed from jail. When faced with choices of this kind, judges are required to take a wide range of considerations into account. It is vital to keep this in mind since the result may seem harsh to some. In the end, their objective is to guarantee that justice is carried out while simultaneously preserving the security of society. As the proceedings of the trial of YNW Melly continue, all we can do is keep our fingers crossed that justice will be done for everyone concerned. That's all for today's video, guys. If you like our content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, share, and hit the notification bell to get the latest news from us. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.